Mr. Reyb, Дейзи told me you'd been abducted.
You spoke with my wife. How is she?
Worried about you. Are you all right?
I am all right. Thank you for coming.
Хей, привет банда, това съм аз Бертоне и ето че е време отново да се впуснем в приключенията на Hogwarts Legacy. Какво се случи в последния епизод? Много набързичко ще ви кажа, че отидохме и помогнахме на един гоблин да открие неговата любов, а именно любимият му Мункрафт. За какво точно става дума, може да видите на линкът горе в дясно. А днес обаче ще се впуснем отново към историите на Нати и Попи и ще видим какво точно искат да ни кажат те. Но това веднага, след като ви напомня да се абонирате, ако не сте го направили, и да натиснете камбанката, така няма да изпускате и бъдещи епизоди, за което страшно много благодаря. Окей, стига толкова приказки, скачаме в играта, за да видим какво ни чака. Намираме се в Хогсмийт, а Нати ни чака точно на входа на града и нека да отидем да видим какво точно иска да ни каже тя. Предполагам, ще е нещо любопитно и отново ще бъде свързано с нейните детективски желания. Явно ще изчакаме. Добре, чакаме.
Are you ready to put an end to Harlow?
Ехо, аз съм за теб. Здрасти.
I'm ready to do what's needed to take Harlow down. I know you have a plan.
We must gather information from the friends of Mr. Bickle that Archie and Mrs. Bickle mentioned. Agabus Filbert, Ото Dibъл, and Mr. and Mrs. Reyb.
All right.
I suggest that you speak with each of them while I head to the Hogshead. I saw some Ashwinders heading there. And as my mother would never go near the Hogshead, she is less likely to learn of my activities than if I were to wander the village questioning its residents.
Нека да поговорим.
Where am I to find these friends of his?
I do not know about Mr. Reyb, but his wife, Дейзи, is often in Hogsmeyt, as is Agabus Filbert. And Ото Дибъл, he works at Gladrags, so you will likely find him there.
Всички са в града.
What sort of information am I trying to gather from these people?
They may know what evidence Mr. Bickle had against Harlow, or they may have evidence of their own. We simply need to know whatever they know.
Отиваме да говорим с мистер Бикъл с Friends.
Very well. I'll speak with them, see what I can learn.
I knew I could rely on you. We need to know how they are being blackmailed by Rookwood and Harlow. Meet me here after you have spoken with them. Hopefully by the time you return, I will be able to move a bit more freely.
Ако искате да разберете точно за какво става въпрос, може да видите на линкът горе в дясно, ще ви изпрати линкът, ще ви изпрати към епизода, който започва точно тези разговори. Става въпрос за едно отвлечено дете. Ще видите, ако ви е любопитно, разбира се. Така, отиваме да открием въпросните хора. Изглежда, че не са чак толкова далеч. Ще започнем от този край.
Agabus Filbert must be around here somewhere.
Hello there.
Здрасти.
Excuse me, Mr. Filbert. I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him.
Tragic what happened to Bickle. He wanted me to speak out against Harlow for an act of violence committed against me. But I feared Harlow's retaliation, and so I refused.
If you had spoken out against him as Mr. Bickle asked, perhaps Harlow would be locked away by now.
Perhaps. But perhaps I would have suffered a similar fate.
You said that Harlow committed an act of violence against you. Could you tell me what happened?
Before my extraordinary wife, Dulcibella, passed away, she had just completed a small book of poetry. As a surprise for her birthday, one she never had the chance to celebrate, I had the book beautifully bound and plated in gold. One day, Harlow came calling to punish me for having spoken out against the Neanderthals that comprise Rookwood's lot. Before I knew it, I'd been petrified, and Harlow was rifling through my home. He found the book of poetry, with its exquisite gold plating. I watched helplessly, lying there in my entranceway as he walked away with the book, laughing as he went. I was shaken to my core. Still am, to be honest.
I imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again, but do you mind if I share this information with Officer Singer?
I suppose I have no choice. This extortion can't go on forever. You can pass it on to anyone who may be willing to help. Harlow does not like people talking,
Revelio.
as you already know.
Now, to find Mr. Bickle's other two friends.
Така, искам само да взема каквото има тук, защото това е пред левел 3. Което означава, че вътре има нещо доста ценно. Всъщност не е задължително, но така се успокоявам. Поне има голям набор от съндъци. Има вътре козел. Това не е козел, ами е овен. Интересно. Абсолютно нищо специално. Но, още една е старашена къща. Какво повече може да иска човек? Трябва да видим. Следваща спирка. 24 метра. Би трябвало да е вътре в трите метли.
Mrs. Reyb should be nearby.
Би трябвало да е това.
Oh, Иско, what have I done?
Mrs. Reyb, I wondered if I might speak with you about Theophilus Harlow. I'm a friend of the Bickles and I'm trying to gather evidence against him.
Poor Joanna and little Archie. And now Harlow has taken my darling Иско.
What do you mean? Why?
I'm a security guard at Gringotts, and my husband is a curse breaker for them. Harlow approached me about helping him extort my colleagues into giving him treasures from the vaults.
And you declined?
Of course I declined. Repeatedly. I thought they'd given up, until I came home one night and found my husband gone, and a note affixed to my door with a knife. The note stated that I only had a few days to reconsider helping with some banking needs, and that my husband would appreciate it if I acted quickly. But the help Harlow wants is help that I cannot give, and my dearest Иско is paying the price.
Много тъжно.
Why wouldn't Harlow extort your husband?
Искo's job is even more removed from the vaults than mine. He travels the world for the bank. He could do nothing for Harlow. I'm the one in the bank on a daily basis, which evidently makes me an enticing target for blackmail.
Have you helped Harlow since your husband was taken?
No, I'm worried sick about Искo, but he'd never want me to compromise my integrity. I also know that he's extremely clever. That said, I was hoping he would have escaped by now. It makes me concerned as to why he hasn't.
Лошо.
Are you sure the note means that your husband was kidnapped?
What else could it possibly mean? Besides, I came home to find that someone had trampled the daisies in our garden. It may sound silly, but those were Искo's pride and joy. He would never have let that happen.
Че някой отвлечен.
Thank you, Mrs. Reyb. Knowing the lengths that Harlow will go to is helpful, albeit more than disturbing.
Mr. Bickle was trying to help us, but now he's gone. I don't know what to do.
I shall do all I can to get evidence against Harlow, Mrs. Reyb.
Very well. Here's the note I received. You must be careful as well. Please don't put yourself in danger.
Всъщност това е писмо до нея, което се казва: Госпожо Роуп, надявам се, че ще размислите и ще ни помогнете за нашите банкови нужди. Дадохме ви време да вземете вашето решение самостоятелно, но започваме да губим търпение. Сигурни сме, че мъжът ви ще оцени нашата работа заедно. Да очакваме ли отговор в близката седмица? И най-добре пазете това между нас си, ако разбирате какво имам предвид.
Some evidence worth hanging on to.
Thank you. I hope it's not too late.
We're on the
Нещата
right
не
track.
изглеждат никак
How to find the
добре.
last of Mr. Bickle's friends.
Тук мисля, че беше в изхода. Не беше тук. Къде е изхода? Тук горе имаше ли изход? От другата страна? Тотално се загубих тук. Да, ето го. И
Ото Dibъл
отиваме
works
към
at
последната
Gladrags.
част.
I should check that.
Please tell me you didn't take it, but perhaps it's been here all...
Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow.
I've nothing to say about him. May I interest you in a stunning cravat today?
Please, sir, I'd like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle.
You know the Bickles? All right, but we must be discreet. Can't have Mr. Hill hearing this.
I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of the troll attack.
Oh, he's a good man, but even he wouldn't understand about Harlow. It started a few weeks ago. I was distracted, reading a note, when you-know-who came into the shop. I hid the note behind the counter and offered to help him. He stared at me for a moment, then asked me to check on an order he'd placed. I went into the storeroom to check on what turned out to be a non-existent order. When I returned, he was holding the note.
What was in the note?
It was a note from Rosie Hill, Mr. Hill's daughter. You see, we've been, well, secretly engaged these past 6 months. We haven't told Mr. Hill yet. I dare say he has higher hopes for her. Harlow advised me in no uncertain terms that my relationship with Rosie, not to mention my employment here, depended upon my cooperation.
What did he ask you to do?
It all happened so quickly. In an instant, he took a very expensive scarf from the counter, pocketed it, and smiled. He said, "Your secret is safe as long as I can supply my lady friend with delightful items like this every so often." I've been able to cover for his requests until now with some creative bookkeeping, but I can't keep it out for much longer. I'm terrified to say anything. I could never live without Rosie.
Относно бележката...
I met Mr. Hill the day of the troll attack. He was kind to me. Why don't you just tell him?
He's a lovely man, but when it comes to Rosie, I fear he loses all perspective. He'd see this as a grave betrayal. I'd lose my job instantly, and Rosie as well.
Има логика. Въпреки, че не е честно.
What have you been doing to keep the extortion a secret?
Well, as I mentioned, creative bookkeeping. And I've also been trying to cover the costs with my own savings, but I'm running out of money. Of course, none of this bodes well for my efforts to improve my circumstances and to be worthy of Rosie.
Could you give me a bit more detail about the note? That might help me to identify it should I come across it.
It's on Rosie's special pink stationery. It has her monogram at the top, RH. That's how Mr. Hill would know it was real.
Така, добре.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down.
I would love nothing more than to see him rotting in Azkaban, but be careful. He's an awful man and incredibly dangerous. As for Rosie's letter, should you happen upon it, I have committed it to memory. You may destroy it immediately.
Understood.
Говорихме
Now
с
hurry
всички.
off before Mr. Hill returns. Where was I?
И
I've
сега...
spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Nati.
Там имаме някакъв съндък, даже мисля, че е съндък с пари, но... Нека да ходим да видим Нати какво има да ни каже, да видим тя какво открила. FPS-а в този град направо се смазва. Надявам се при вас да не се вижда изключително зле.
It's not like Nati to be late. She said she was going to the Hog's Head. Perhaps I'll find her there.
Натия няма. Трябва да отидем и да я открием. Виж ти.
Revelio.
И да се оглеждаме попътно за някакви други... Ето вижте. Има смисъл от това да се поогледаме тук-там. Има и огледало, което огледало няма да е точно сега.
Nati must be around here somewhere. Revelio.
Да видим.
Nati's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Revelio will show me where she was taken.
Стъпките на Нати малко по малко.
Nosy little students get what's coming to them.
Директно е
Revelio.
измъкната от тук.
Nati must have been taken this way. I need to find her quick. The footprints led to this room. There must be another way forward.
Да видим. Имаме две ръчки за дърпане.
Accio.
Тази да дръпнем да видим какво ще се случи.
The hidden door.
Много добре.
Nati must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly. Revelio.
Малко пари. Тук има чеже, тук още малко пари. И това означава, че може би ще е окей да бъдем...
Let's be sure I'm not seen.
Деликатни. Ще падне бой. Усещам.
Revelio.
Там мисля, че няма нищо. Не се вижда да има нещо. Не, няма. Абсолютно нищо не виждам тук. Този е 32 ниво. Шефче някакво. Кажем, че няма да ме види още в самото начало.
Lower Hogsfield needs some stocks after our little visit. They don't seem to care for me.
Be on the lookout for the girl's friend. If they're daft enough to try to
Няма да им
come
се
through
получи
here.
толкова лесно е така да ме изненадат.
Was it upper or lower Hogsfield that we raided last week?
Вау, този не можа да го убие от раз. Но пък беше сравнително бързо.
I'll make you think you are back at school.
Revelio.
Да, може да се каже, че сравнително бързо се оправихме с тях. Добре.
The book of poems was taken from Agabus Fillbert.
Що ли имам чувство, че не ги използвам по предназначение нещата? Може би като го направя на бъчва, мога да взема и да го ликвидирам така в бързината. Тоест да го хвърля някъде, да го приключа. Тук има някакво съкровище. Картина. Някой ме видя. Тук. Кой ме видя? Тя е лапка. Добре, това беше много приятно. Идват още.
Look what you've done! You paid for that!
И трябва да има и още един. Дали ще успее с него да направя същото? Добре, да кажем, че може би не е необходимо. Имаме доста неща, които трябва да вземем тук. Горе някой мисля, че говори нещо. Също има... Добре де. Да го оставим ето там. И да видим тук има ли нещо. Там има някакъв куфър. Вече ми дава нещо, кой знае какво, но все пак не трябва да оставяме нищо зад себе си. Да се промъкнем и в тази посока. Там има някакъв голям чест. Което означава, че...
We should speak to her again. Perhaps she'll tell us where we can find that friend of hers.
Incendio! Expulsion!
Добре. Направо разказвахме играта. Така, добре, този е вече аут. Това, което искам да направя, да взема този големият съндък, който крие очевидно нещо легендарно. Ако извадим късмет, може би ще даде нещо, което е 31 ниво. Съответно по-силно това, което имаме. Друго имаме ли, което не сме взели? Там долу има още един съндък. Защо са толкова много? Добре, нищо интересно тук. Да кажем, че вече можем да продължаваме. Това, което взехме, е напълно достатъчно. Find Ото Ловлетър. Явно някъде трябва да има и някакво любовно писънце някъде там. Да, има един съндък, който не сме взели. О, да, ето, може би тук има стълби. Ето го. Рейб.
Ото Dibъл's love letter from Rosie. He wanted me to destroy this if I found it.
Прекрасно. Изпълнихме и двете опционални неща. Време е да отидем и да спасим Нати. О, тук трябва и Алохамора да използваме чак. Интересно, успяхме да открием някаква пръчка.
Mr. Reyb, Дейзи told me you've been abducted.
You spoke with my wife. How is she?
Worried about you. Are you all right?
I am all right. Thank you for coming. These locks are cursed, and there's an anti-apparition jinx on the cells. Even Nati's skill with wandless magic cannot free us. I need you to find my wand.
Mr. Reyb, I found your wand.
Well done. I knew it was nearby. Now, you best stand back. One never knows how a curse will react to being broken.
Окей, разкарвам се. Възможно най-бързо. се огледам има ли нещо. Не. Освободихме и Нати.
Thank you, Mr. Иско.
My pleasure. And thank you, my friend. We owe our lives to your bravery. I may be too weak to disapparate with you both, but I can try.
You go ahead. Find Officer Singer. We will get out of here on our own.
Very well. But be careful. Thank you, my young friends.
Защо и ние не можем така да правим?
These Ashwinders must pay.
Много хубаво. Трябва да се измъкнем. Мисля, че успяхме да вземем абсолютно всичко. Общо взето, готови сме.
Let's find Officer Singer and put an end to Harlow once and for all.
Ето го. И шефчето.
Natsai Onai. I should have known. And you, the troll dispatcher. Oh, thank goodness the two of you are safe. Иско Reyb told me a couple of students had rescued him. Should have known it was you two.
Is Mr. Reyb all right?
He is. I sent him home to his wife. Miss Onai, your mother will not be pleased to learn that you're still risking your safety pursuing these dangerous men.
Actually, Officer Singer, Nati and I learned of several Hogsmeyt residents who've had their lives threatened by the Ashwinders. In addition to abducting Mr. Reyb to blackmail his wife and Nati, Rookwood and Harlow have also extorted Agabus Filbert and Ото Dibъл.
I will look into all of that. As for the two of you, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you are taking great risk. Next time, please let the authorities handle the Ashwinders.
Да кажем, че не са помогнали особено.
With all due respect, officer, the authorities haven't done much about any of this.
There's more to taking down an organization like the Ashwinders than simply storming in and hauling them off based on a few accusations. I must insist that you leave them to us. We shall have no further discussion on this.
Ядосахме я.
Natsai, you may wish to speak with your mother about this before I do.
My mother will not like this. Thank you again for rescuing me. We shall speak soon.
На някои ще му четат конско. И разбираемо. Но да, общо взето, с това искам да сложа и край на днешния епизод. Надявам се, че това, което видяхте, ви е допаднало. Ако е така, абонирайте се. Ако не сте го направили, натиснете бутона абонамент, абонирай се или subscribe, или както там ви го пише. Да, няма да изпускате и бъдещи епизоди. Да, от мен толкова. Се видим другия път. И да, а вие останете все така готини и се забавлявайте. Чао, чао и до скоро!